You're back. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups. Aren't you glad you waited?
Here is the latest update about the Georgia court proceeding scheduled for today to determine whether Barack Hussein Obama is eligible to be placed on the Georgia ballot in the upcoming November presidential election. Bob Unruh of WND.com is reporting that Barack Obama has announced through his attorney, Jablonski, that he, Barack Obama, will boycott the hearings scheduled for today. Jablonski, Obama's lawyer, told Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp in a letter that, quote, serious problems have developed in the hearings. Jablonski said, quote, at issue in these hearings are challenges that allege that President Obama is not eligible to hold or run for re-election to his office on the now wholly discredited theory that he does not meet the citizenship requirements, end quote. However, Secretary of State Kemp said the case referral was, quote, in keeping with Georgia law. Kemp said this in a letter to Jablonski. To the extent a request to withdraw the case referral is procedurally available, Kemp said, I do not believe such a request would be judicious, given the hearing is set for tomorrow morning. Kemp continued, I expect the administrative law judge to report his findings to me after his full consideration of the evidence and law. Upon receipt of the report, I will fully and fairly review the entire record and initial decision of the administrative law judge. Secretary of State Kemp went on to say, if you and your client choose to suspend your participation in the proceedings, please understand that you do so at your own peril, end quote. So after the judge told Obama that the subpoena that was issued was perfectly valid and that he had to appear in court on January 26th, and he had to bring with him all of the documents that were demanded by the court, Obama decided to go behind the back of the judge and send the complaint about this case to the Secretary of State, and now he's asking the Secretary of State to take the trial away from the judge. Now, folks, I got to ask you, does this even begin to look like the behavior of an innocent person? An innocent person would have come to the court, showed all of the valid documents with the embossed seals, which are all verifiable. He would have either been there himself or at the very least sent his attorney with all of the documents, rather than looking for every maneuver possible to go behind the back of the judge to stop the entire trial. Jablonski went on to write in his protestation, quote, it is well established that there is no legitimate issue here, a conclusion validated time and again by courts around the country. The state of Hawaii produced official records documenting birth there. The president made documents available to the general public by placing them on his website, he wrote. All I can say to that is Jablonski is telling one lie or fabrication or misunderstanding after another. It is not well established that there is no legitimate issue. It is one of the most established facts in this nation that there is a legitimate issue for the very reason that no court in this country, not a single court, has ever heard this case on its merits. The courts rather have simply shifted the jurisdiction around to other courts or back to Congress, but not a single federal court has ever heard this case on its merits. Jablonski should know that. If he doesn't know it, he's an idiot. If he does know it, then he just lied to the Secretary of State. His argument that the state of Hawaii produced official records and Obama made them public, the problem with that is there have been some 17 verified document experts who have come forward, many of them who have signed affidavits stating that they have examined these documents under their expertise and have found the documents that Obama released to be fraudulent. On top of that, the Hawaii Department of Health has refused to respond to any subpoenas or any request by attorneys to actually look at the supposed documents that they made copies of to give to Obama. So this case is far from settled, but it looks like the proceedings will continue today in Georgia. If the judge rules that Obama is not eligible to be placed on the ballot in Georgia, other states will follow. You can bet on that.